Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How are we all doing today? It is yet another freezing one here. Good morning, Hayley. How are you? I've just had a look at our temperature and we are -2. So, yeah, it's cold. It's coldy, coldy, cold. And we are starting back with the tree. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. We had an interesting, well, I had an interesting evening last night. I don't remember if I mentioned to you all that our cat Badger had injured his face. And he'd got an injury he came home on like Saturday and he had like a cut above his left eye, and it didn't seem that bad, and we just sort of kept an eye on it. And then the day after, he came back and he had another wound to the left side of his cheek, which looked a little bit worse, and so we bathed it. But it wasn't bleeding or anything like that. It was just like you could see that there was a wound of some sort, and it was just didn't look anything bad. Then yesterday did not look good at all. So about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, we rang the vets and explained the situation and said, look, is there any way someone could just sort of look at it and just see if he needs like antibiotics or just have it cleaned properly or something like that? And they were like, sure, can you come in the next 10 minutes? So we had to bundle Badger into his cage, which he was not best pleased about because he doesn't really like his cage, and he's a big lad, so being put inside a cat cage is very restrictive for him, and he really doesn't like it. And took him down to the vets. We got seen. There was nobody in the waiting room, it seemed, and we sort of got in straight away. And the vet took one look at it and he said, yes, that's an abscess. And he said, do you think he'd let me shave it? Could you hold him and would he let me shave the side of his head so I can have a look at it? And I said, well, he's pretty docile. I said, yeah, probably. I said, we can give it a go. And Badger, let me tell you, he was the perfect patient. He literally just sat there, let the vet do whatever the vet wanted to do. He would have been perfect for veterinary medical students. So the vet shaved the side of his head and the side of his face and exposed this. There was the initial cut here, but the wound on the side of his face was, I would say, 1.5 centimeters wide and about 4 centimeters long. It under his fur. We didn't realize it had gone all the way down here to his neck, and they took all the fur off and they took the flap of skin off that was there so that the whole thing could be exposed. And then Badger's just sitting there, just sort of do what you will sort of thing. And so then they sort of cleaned it down with saline, and again the cat's just sitting there, just not bothered. And we've been given antibiotics and anti-inflammatories to give to him for the next week. So yeah, so we had that last night, so that was that was kind of interesting and kind of fun. So poor Badger is now in the cone of shame. He has a cone of shame, bless him, which we're putting on him mostly at night, because obviously we're not there to sort of keep an eye on him while we're all asleep. And then during the daytime we sort of take it off so he can he can eat and drink properly, and he can use the litter tray, and because he's not allowed to go out for a week either. Yes, the cone of shame, I'm afraid. And believe me, he does not carry it well. He does not carry that look off very well. Bless him. And he had a lot to say about it in the car, because he doesn't like being in the car either. So yeah, so that was our evening, or my evening. Better. So it's like you get one animal better. So like we got Mango better, and then like another one sort of. It's just the way it is in the house when you've got multiple animals. I think it's just something you have to expect. But it's like we've got to take Misty in next week because she's one of our other cats. Because somehow, and we don't know how, she completely missed her vaccinations last year. Even though she had her 6 monthly checkups, she was meant to have had her vaccination in February of 2023, her usual yearly booster. She was seen in January for a 6-month check, and then she was seen in August for a 6-monthly check, where the nurses go in and just sort of make sure that their heart sounds fine, their chest sounds fine, everything, teeth's good, eyes, ears, all that sort of thing. And even though she was seen in August, nobody flagged, oh, she should have had her vaccination in February. And so when I rang them up, I think last week, to arrange her next lot of flea and worm treatment that we give them every month. Well, we give them flea treatment every month and worm every 6 months. And they said, oh, she's not had her vaccinations. And I was like, well, how did you miss that? How did you miss that if you saw her in August? How did the nurse not pick up that she'd missed her vaccination? So now she's got to go right back to the beginning and have the starting set. So she has to have her first vaccination next week, and then 3 weeks later has to have another vaccination. I feel like I need my own parking space at the vets at this point in time. I really do. think I'm kind of getting there with the bumpy, sort of rough nature of the tree. So trying to add different colours to it as well. Right, okay, so I need to get in the green. What sort of green do I want? Let me see, what sort of colour is that? I wonder if it's earth green yellowish, maybe, to start off with. This green goes all the way up around this mouth, so let me just go around the edge of this wolf mouth. Here I've got this section here. Different green. It's kind of a weird green. It's like it's a very earthy green, but there's yellow tones to it, there's brown tones to it. I don't know which one. Let's put this in. This might be a bit too bright, but let's have a look. Yeah, that's very bright. I suppose I can always dull it down afterwards. Morning, Natalie. I am struggling to decide which colours to use. Right, so the underside of this screen has some dark bits. Day off today, gonna do laundry and make brownies. Well, I'm glad you've got a day off. Boo to the laundry, hurrah to the brownies. What am I gonna do? Oh, I bought this thing off TikTok Shop. A long-handled broom that's got rubber brush ends to help lift off the dog fur off the carpet. Oh my gosh, it it works. It works really, really well, but I didn't realize how much of Rosie's fur was in the carpet. You just don't, I mean, you hoover, you think everything looks clean, and then you go over with this brush and you think you'll just do a quick brush in one section, like maybe 2 swipes with this brush in one section, and it will come up. No, it keeps coming. It's like, where's it coming from? How much has my dog shed? My God. It just keeps coming up. And it's shocking, it's surprising, and because you're constantly going over one section, because more and more just seems to keep coming up, it's like, oh my God. It's very shocking. That's for sure. Right, I need like a darker green. So yeah, so I spent a time, I thought, because it's just taking such a long time, I'm just going to do little sections here and there. So I decided to start with the hallway entrance, where obviously people come into the house. And yeah, I got about half of it done before I had to stop and take a break, because my arms were absolutely killing me, and I felt like such a wuss. I mean, I do yoga and things. I thought I've got decent arm strength. Turns out, no, I do not. Hey, you're all doing really well with the puzzle. And so you've completed all the side edges. I had a look at it this morning just before we started. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of my puzzlers. Now the hard bit. You gotta start doing the bits in the middle now. Right. Do I want to add any more to that? Probably just a little bit. that's not too bad. I'm not trying to get in every single sort of detail of every, because these are pine trees, and obviously, you know, they're quite spiky, and it would be impossible to sort of draw in every sort of pine needle. So I'm just sort of doing a general colour and shade, and letting the mind fill in the rest. Right. Next section. Right, let me just see. So there is a bit of green here. Green here. Some green here. Snow. Let's do a bit more tree. Especially because those pine needles are all blurred as well. It's just like there's no point in me trying to put detail in that even I can't see on the picture. So I'm just gonna leave it as vague colour. It's too much about the ear. You still see it on the screen, yeah. Edges easy, middle not so much. Exactly. The fact that you've managed to do the edges though has already amazed me, because sometimes when you look at those jigsaw puzzles on the screen like that and they've got all the pieces in front of you, it's hard to see which bit that you need. So I'm very impressed. Be right back. I made a coffee, then realised we have no milk. Calls for an expedition to the corner shop. I do things like that. We've got a grocery delivery coming today, so could not be bothered to go to the supermarket and just trudge amongst people getting in the shopping, because I did so much, I just feel like I did so much Christmas shopping in person that I am done with people. I'm done with being surrounded by crowds of sometimes rude, selfish people. So I was just like, no. So I did an online order and someone can deliver it to me. So, yeah. It is the way it is, unfortunately. Just making sure that that goes down there. Yeah, that would be a straight line. Okay. Oh God. I think it's going to be one of those days today. It's already going to be a difficult day. I just know it because anyway, I've got to ring my auntie up later because today is the first anniversary of her losing her husband. So yeah, so I want to be able to do that for her. I always call her most weeks anyway, but I particularly want to call her today. My uncle was such a great guy. He was one of those guys. I'm not just saying this because he was like my family member and somehow that made him more special or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he was one of those guys where you know the world is a worse off place for having lost him. He was such a good guy. I always remember him making me laugh as a child. He was always funny, but he was kind, he was considerate, he was definitely a peacemaker. He didn't like conflict. He was always sort of, if people were getting wound up about something, he was always the one that would try and calm you down and get you to think a little bit more rationally. And yeah, he was just a good guy. And he had, well, he did not have a good passing. He contracted a condition that is extremely rare and not a pleasant way to go. And he didn't deserve that. I'm not saying anybody deserves a bad way to go, if you know what I mean, but it was just like him in particular, he did not deserve what he got at the end, and it was a very upsetting. It's upsetting to lose anybody, obviously, but I think when they go in a particularly cruel way to a cruel condition that could happen to anybody, it's random if it happens to you, and it's not a nice way to go. So anyway, it's his year anniversary today, so I'm going to phone my auntie, see how she's doing. Where's my dark brown? I need my dark brown. Oh, I tell you what I finished watching yesterday, chat, was that film that I started telling you about yesterday, Society of the Snow, based on the true story of the 1972 plane crash of the Uruguayan rugby team. And oh my god, what a film! That film deserves to win some awards. It really does. The stuff that those guys went through. I mean, they had this plane crash in the Andes in, I think it was October 1972. And they are obviously in the middle of the Andes. They're not dressed for the Andes, and they have this plane crash, and they have to survive. And they are there for 2 months. They're there for 2 months, and they have nothing that they can burn, so they can't keep warm by building a fire, because they literally have nothing they can burn, because they need all of the clothing and stuff that's in the luggage to wear to keep warm at night. In the day, they're being baked by the sun because they're exposed, and they have nowhere to get cover, and so they're being baked by the sun in the daytime, and then at night they're absolutely freezing cold. And they're dealing with injury. They're dealing with the death of their teammates, disease, starvation, dehydration, and on top of that, they're dealing with avalanches and storms, and they have no food, and so they have to resort to cannibalizing the bodies of those that died in the crash. And of course, there's this huge moral dilemma about that, as you'd expect. And it's just this harrowing movie, as you see that, they've already got enough to deal with, and then the mountain punishes them, and the weather punishes them, and they keep sending out scouting parties to, see if they can find a way out. But whichever way they go, there's just more mountains, there's just more snow, because they're in the middle of the Andes, obviously. And they just decide that they get to this point after about quite a few weeks out there, that they need to find hi Jake, hi, welcome to the channel, thanks for the follow. They decide that they have to find the batteries for the plane, because if they can find the batteries to the plane, then maybe they can get the radio started so they can radio for help. And so they send out this scouting party, and they can't find the plane, the back end of the plane where the batteries are initially, for some time. And then when they do find it, sort of like weeks later, they have problems sort of sorting out the electrics and trying to connect it. And when they do finally connect it and get the radio working, they hear this announcement on the news that the search for them has been called off. And so they're like, there's nobody looking for us now. What do we do? We've got to do something. And people are dying all the time, and they're losing family, they're losing friends, and it's just this harrowing situation that they're in, and they're still showing fortitude and strength of character and managing to smile and make each other laugh on occasions despite the situation that they're in. And they know they can't do anything until the snow starts to melt, and they heard on the radio as well that the search won't resume for like 2 months until the snow starts to melt. And so they decide to send out another scouting party. And this scouting party decide that, you know, they're either going to die out in the mountains trying to find a way out, or they're just going to return back to the plane and die there. And so they decide to carry on. And 2 of them, they initially start off as 3 and then 1 goes back, but 2 of them carry on, and they finally see this valley between these 2 vast mountains, and they follow it down. It leads them to a river, and there's a person there on a horse, and it leads to their rescue. And I think originally there was like 40 something people on the plane and 5 crew, and at the end I think there's only like 16 people that survived. And when they get rescued, it is the most joyous scenes you've ever seen. If I'm telling you, if that film does not get awards, I will be incredibly surprised, because those scenes, well, they made me cry, and I don't cry very easily at things like that. And it was just, it's just such an amazing film. So if you get the chance to watch it, do watch it. It's a Society of the Snow, it's called. It's subtitled, but that sort of thing don't bother me. You've returned with your milk. Enjoy your coffee. Rosie barking outside. I tell you, she does not like Badger and his little cone of shame. She is so upset by him being in his little cone of shame. It is so funny. She's just like, no, that's not happening to you, Badger. No, come on, let me get you out of that. You come here, I'll help you, buddy. She's like his little partner in crime, trying to help him break free from it. Right. I'm still not sure if I'm happy with the tree. Not too bad, not too bad. I think I just need something here. So it's not that big patch of light under that shadow. A little bit better. I think it probably needs a shadow here too. Better. See, this bit where I've left it clear implies the blob of snow that is going to be there, so I will come to that bit later. So right, let's go up to the top of the tree now. Hang on, let's do that. There we go. Right. So I have some green that comes. Oh, that comes in there. It's already marked in. Cool. Okay. So hard doing backgrounds. I tell you, just doing animals is, you know, I kind of feel pretty confident with fur and scales and feathers. Well, you know, a little bit. mostly I'm confident with those things, but trying to do backgrounds and foliage and plants, that I'm not practiced with, and I'm not quite sure, so I'm just doing the best that I can here. As long as I can get that feeling of texture from the tree. I really want to get the texture of the tree in, and the fact that it is round rather than just this flat shape on the paper, then, you know, I guess I'll be happy at that. Normally I wouldn't have such a smooth-sided tree either, because trees are not smooth, but this one looks very smooth. So what's everybody's plans for today? I know you're doing brownies and things. Nat, has anyone else got any decent plans for today? I have literally got the rest of my hallway to finish cleaning. I have obviously got my supermarket delivery. I've got my writing I've got to get done today. What else? Oh, I've got to call my auntie. I'll get a call from my brother this afternoon. I've literally, that doesn't sound like much, but the writing is going to take me a long time because I've got so much of it to get done. So I'll be sat here at my desk quite a lot later on today. I'll have lunch, I think, and then I will get on with my writing. I think one of the worst things about being a creator, because this applies to cooking as well as art, is being able to see all your mistakes, whereas others don't see the little things, they see the whole. Exactly. Because I used to have, back in the day, I used to be on YouTube, and I used to show all the things that I used to make when I was like really heavily into like cross stitching and things, and just things that I was creating. So crochet, knitting, cross stitch. There's a whole section of YouTube called FlossTube. Hi Lana. Oh, you're getting ready for work. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for saying hi. I used to go on there with all my sort of like creations and everything, and I would sort of like go, and this is my finished object for this one, and everyone would be like, oh, that looks amazing, but I would insist on saying, well, I went wrong in this part, and I'm off by 2 stitches here, but don't worry, I fudged it. And you point out, and you know where all the flaws are. To everyone else, it looks fine, it looks beautiful, or in the case of food, it tastes amazing, but you're just thinking, well, you know, I put it on too high a temperature and they should have risen a bit more than that. And you just have to not take, I don't know why do we find it so hard to take the compliments? I always say the mistakes are personalizations now. So enjoying your last day off before you go back to work tomorrow. I don't blame you. Hey Faisal. So yeah, why do we do that? Why do we like, oh, your hair looks nice today, and you go, oh, I just washed it. Like, you know, people just can't take compliments. I can't take compliments anyway. I think it's just a thing. Oh, that's a lovely dress you're wearing. Oh, this old thing. Oh, I got it for £6 out of Primark. It's, you know, it's like you just bring it down as to, oh, it's not that special. Oh, Lana, coming in with a subscription for 1 month. Thank you. Welcome. Everyone, send some love in the chat to Lana. I really appreciate that, Lana. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're funny humans, aren't we? When you think of us as a species, we're like really, really funny. I'm sure there are some strange individuals that walk amongst us that are perfectly capable of accepting compliments and thinking, well, yes, I do look marvellous today, thank you very much, and just move on with that. But I think the majority of us are like really bad at accepting compliments. I don't know. We're weird. We're weird as a species. But I guess that's what makes us all interesting. Right, okay, so I'm just thinking how I need to do. That's got snow on as well as leaf, so I'll put a little bit of the green in just so I know that it's there, and then I can go around it later. bottom because it has snow on the top. Okay, just so I know that it's there and I can fill that in later a little bit better. Sorry, Hayley, didn't see your name because it was green for both you and Nat. Yeah, I know. There was a couple of times where it was just Hayley and Nat in the chat, and I had to keep looking up to see who'd said what and who was cooking the brownies. It can be like that. Oh, no, wrong colour. That was the wrong colour. Oh, I need to repaint my nails as well today. I need to somehow fit that in around all the typing that I'm going to be doing later. I'm very much aware that they look a mess. I've been waiting for a parcel to be delivered, and I've been tracking it, and it cleared customs January the 5th, and every time I've checked it since then, it's just said cleared customs January the 5th, and there was nothing, and I was beginning to worry that it was stuck in customs, even though it's cleared customs, because sometimes that happens. It would just sit there for ages and ages and ages. And so every morning since then, I've tracked the parcel to see if it started moving, and this morning it started to move. It started to move. So I'm hoping that the last art book that I ordered with my Christmas money will finally arrive in the next few days. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. And then I can show you guys the art that's in it, because the artist is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I am so looking forward to really sort of studying his work and doing not copying his work, but trying to reproduce some of the pictures that he's done in pen and ink, because he's just such an amazing artist. And I think to learn how to do that sort of art, which is what I want to sort of learn to do, is you know that saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery? Well, I think I'm going to sort of try and do that, so sort of imitate some of his pieces. And even though I'll be like copying some of his pieces, it will be more about learning how he structured them and how he created them, so that I can take that forward into my own art. So yeah, so really looking forward to that. I can't wait for that book to arrive. I really can't. I'm just going to mark in where all the where all the darker crevices are in this part of the tree, and then we'll be done for the day, I think. That comes down in between there. Sort of trying to naturally replicate some of these longer crevices in this tree where it's all starting to sort of flake off and peel for the winter. You shouldn't be allowed to do puzzles. Why? Let's have a look. Let's see how far you've got. Oh wow! Oh my god! You've done so much! That is amazing! Well done! I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed, Natalie. Keep at it. Keep at it. You'll finish this on your own if you're allowed to. Absolutely. Yep. It's going to be there every day until it's finished. So, you know, if you end up doing it all on your own, then that's fine. And then once you're done, I'll set you another one and I'll make it harder. No, I think I'll sort of try and keep it around about 500 pieces because I think that that's just a nice amount. I mean, a 500 piece puzzle on its own is hard enough. I'm doing 1,000 piece puzzle physically in person. I bought some puzzles over Christmas. I got them from a charity shop. It is the same one from yesterday, Faisal. Yeah, it's going to be the same one until it's completed. The one with the fishies. But the one that I'm doing at home is a 1,000 piece one, and it is taking me such a long time. I literally do like 2 or 3 pieces, and it takes me so long to do 2 or 3 pieces and get them fit in that I sort of like close up the board and go, right, I'll come back to it later, because it just literally just takes me forever. But I've gone to the length now of sorting the shapes by shape, so I've got them all in different blocks now, so that I can sort of try and solve it a little bit quicker, because I'm just sort of just trying to do this, and it was crazy. Yes, this fish is, if you click on the preview, if you go to the puzzle page and at the top it says preview, if you click on the preview, it will show you what the picture is. So I didn't know that you'd done the outside yesterday, Faisal. Well done. But yeah, if you click on preview, it will show you what the picture is, what you're actually trying to make. So yeah, and I think if you log in, you can log in and make your own account, and then so instead of it saying anonymous with a number for logging you in, it will actually come up with your name. Yes, you can do that, yes. And you can zoom in, there's little buttons at the top, you can zoom in and zoom out to examine the pieces a little bit better. And well, if you've been doing it blind, I'm even more impressed, because I always need a reference picture to sort me out with a jigsaw. But yeah, but you'll get there, guys, and I'll be very proud of you. And then there are so many different categories in that jigsaw puzzle thing, so let me know what sort of things you want to do. If you want to do animals, if you want to do landscapes, if you want to just do like color blocking, let me know the sort of thing that you prefer to do, and then I can choose the next puzzle based on that once you've done the fishies. So but yeah, I think it's a really pretty picture. I just really like the colours. I like the way all the colours sort of swirled into one another and the fishes stood out. So yeah, but okay, so that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. So thanks so much for joining me. Really appreciate your company. Really appreciate you doing the puzzle. Thanks to everyone who has followed and subscribed. Really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And I will be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30, doing some more of the wolves, and then obviously on Friday we will be back to the crocodile. So thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of the day, which is exactly what I was going to say, and then Hayley said it before me, which kind of threw me. But yeah, have a great day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.